emotions. But no, it's been very, very successful day today, to be honest. First time to be working with everybody and seeing the way they go about things. There's utmost professionalism and everybody's been working really well, really hard. And quite honestly, it was nice, those first laps. I didn't expect to be so comfortable with the bike quite as quickly. You can definitely feel that it's got some grunt. It's powerful. You can feel the good points, some points that need to be worked on, but as every machine does. So it's been very, very successful day as far as that goes, and moving forward into the point where I can actually really give them feedback already at the end of the first day. Normally that's quite difficult to do until you're really comfortable with it. But in general, it's been, in my opinion, very successful first day.
Casey, it's the first time you've thrown your leg over the caddy since the end of 2010. What were the good points of the bike? What struck you immediately that the bike does well?
Since I only rode a Superbike in the last 12 months, power. Damn, I mean, like I said, I can't say enough how much grunt it's got. That was the first thing that was a little bit like, whoa.
You mean top end or just the way that it accelerates off the corner?
Just grunt everywhere.
Right.
It was really, really surprising. Definitely the aero package is something that I've been really impressed with. As soon as I tuck in, I basically don't feel any wind resistance. So that's something that really impressed me. At the beginning, the bike felt a little alien to me. We couldn't quite get any feedback from the front. Didn't know if it was tyres or the chassis, things like that. Couldn't really get the flex in the chassis that I would have liked. Then we just did a couple of changes with suspension that, quite honestly, I didn't expect to make such a big change as far as the movement goes. And I immediately just got more feeling with the bike, and then we could sort of move forward from there. We did a few changes. Little bit of a strange feeling in the front still, but like I said, I haven't ridden one of these bikes in over a year. Haven't ridden Michelin's, like all these sort of things, new bike, everything. I'm really surprised by the end of the day how we sort of got on with it, and picking up the good points, which I'll keep close to my heart at the moment. There's always room for improvement, but that actually excites me. When there's something that we know already feels like a pretty good package, and there's more room for improvement, that's always a very, very good sign and a good thing. So every step we made today basically was in the right direction. And this, like I said, is another positive point. Everything we did, we felt the difference. We were able to say definitely better, worse, what areas, and definitely make some improvements. So it's like I said, it's been really nice just to see how everybody works together, and what a unit the team is.
Has the caddy got a much different feel to it now than to what it did when you left? Hugely,
but I'm sure any of the manufacturers, if you go back 6 years, it's going to be a massive difference. Like I said, though, getting used to the bike, everything, as well as the tyres at the same time, is something that isn't ideal. Would have been better if I sort of got more accustomed to it on Bridgestones and then moved through. But at the same time, you don't learn bad habits and things like that, bad riding styles, I suppose. So I'm just progressing with the latest change. So it's so far been good.
What is the best point of Ducati, Casey? I mean, in the area in which you think is the best for Ducati?
For me, the stability in the braking point is really, really good, and also stability in the slow corners. I think that can, the two things that I could probably say that I want to say is those 2 points. I think really, really impressed me. Like I said, the other points, it's quite difficult at the moment to understand what is Michelin feeling and what's the chassis and the bike. The engine, of course, is fantastically strong, but at the same time, we've got control over it, and that's something very important as well. It's all good having a lot of power, but if you can't put it on the ground, it's difficult. So it was a little tricky today because we had high humidity, and we've had cars running around, so we didn't have a lot of grip. At the end of the day, it got a little better when the track temperature came down. We got more realistic understanding of what it's going to be. But to be honest, I'm more than happy to run in the middle of the day in difficult conditions, because it sort of exposes more things than when you have grip.
How do you feel from the physical point of view?
Everything was really, really good. I started getting a little sore in the shoulders and the right hand, just holding on as I'm accelerating. But as far as physically, I'm happy, very, very happy. I haven't been able to train since Suzuka. We've had a few health issues and things like this, so I was a little worried coming here to see where my level would be. But quite honestly, the entire day I felt good. It's just a little bit of muscle soreness, and after not riding these bikes, there's no way you can replicate, what these bikes do to you in the gym or anywhere. So they're tough bikes to ride, very tough.
What is your target for this first test on Ducati?
To be honest, we don't have, I don't believe we have really any targets. Honestly, it's just getting comfortable with everything. So the engineers start to understand my language and how I, decipher things and give my feedback. That's probably the most important thing we can do in this test. We're already giving some feedback today, which is really good. We had most of today just to get used to the bike, and already we did that quickly and started to move on to other things. But when you can sleep on it and get back up, and things are going to be a bit more comfortable. So realistically, we have no goals or anything like that. If I was racing, of course we'd have goals, but right now I'm a test rider, and this is my job and this is what I want to do, and to try and help everybody else that's on the Ducati this year.
What did Adriana say about this job? Because at the end of the day, it's always dangerous to ride a bike.
It's dangerous, but driving your car is dangerous also. It's I didn't retire because of danger. This is something that I've grown up knowing about this. For sure, when you start riding again, your safety level is sort of reduced quite a lot. You start riding around, and you just, all those bad memory crashes that you've had in the past sort of are going through your head. When you go really deep under brakes and you're just waiting for it to drop in a straight line, it's always a little scary, but quite honestly had good feeling with everything. So we just built on that and tried to slowly get confidence back and get a bit of a feel for it.
How are the lap times, Casey, and what's your plan for tomorrow?
Lap times for me were surprising, like a lot better than I expected and a lot better than what I know. Some points I was quite slow and very, very cautious, especially. And the lap times came very easily, so I was happy about that. Not sort of sure too much of the plan. We're going to discuss that tonight, decide which direction to go in, because like I said, they weren't sort of expecting me to start being able to compare today. That was all sort of planned for tomorrow, so I don't know what the general plan is yet.
Do you think you'll ever go on the new bike, Kate? And today you rode last year's bike. Is the plan at some stage for you to jump on the GP16?
We'll probably discuss that tonight. To me, honestly, I think it's important just to get really accustomed with the bike before you go on, so you can give real data, real feedback. Like I said, I was already doing enough today to get some feedback and things like that, but even just, I've ridden a MotoGP bike 3 or 4 times in the last 3 years. It's not a lot, and just getting yourself used to reading and understanding exactly what's happening and then relaying it to the engineers takes a little bit of time again. So we'll decide what to do tonight, and then we might end up on the 16, but at this moment we have no plans to go there. We just stay on the 15 and really.
So it was a bit of a shock when you wound up in 6th gear for the first time, wasn't it?
No, it's just acceleration. 6th gear definitely, but when you come out of like turn 3 and forgot how painful these are.
How was the electronics, Casey? Because you're always someone who didn't use much, and obviously this new ECU is seen by people as being a bit sort of simpler. And what did you make of it? Is it more fun? What do you think?
In my opinion, it's still very advanced. So they might have stopped progression, but realistically, they haven't gone back many years. It needs. If you're going to do anything, it's got to go back to 2006, 2007, somewhere around there is when electronics were there, but they didn't really help you go faster.
Okay.
So these are still, quite advanced and quite honestly have, good potential.
Really?
And I'm sure, everybody hasn't even reached their potential yet. They're still learning the programs and systems. So yeah, there's still a long way to go yet, and probably, improve them again. So, quite honestly, from what I've ridden, there's not, a huge difference. You can feel a little bit, and just those finer little adjustments, but they're pretty good. So it's, of course, that's a good thing in many ways, but in other ways, I'm disappointed that it's not a little bit more loose and a little bit more tricky, maybe.
Casey, why have you decided to say yes to Ducati? What is your motivation to be?
To be honest, we've had our differences in the past with people in different that are no longer there, especially. Things weren't sort of going the way we would have liked. I think maybe some of the people that were there got a little complacent with what I was doing, and we weren't seeing any sort of budgeting for improvements, etc. In the past. The structure, everything with Ducati has completely changed. I've always had a big soft spot for Ducati, especially the team, especially the MotoGP team, which I've got a fantastic relationship with most of the guys still in there. I know the majority of the mechanics in there. And, this is something that I feel I can make a difference. I'm not there to go and kickstart my career and really push through again. But what I would like to do is make a difference for the riders that are there. Try and get them a little bit more comfortable and hopefully, further towards the front, pushing for more, better results. If I can do that, then, I'm going to be very, very happy. But of course, my data and my information isn't necessarily going to translate into results, especially when, my feelings are a little different maybe to the other riders. So I'll do whatever I can for Ducati. But I'm going to be putting a lot of effort in.
Who is working with Gigi? Do you like him? Your relationship between him?
Day one. No, quite honestly, working with everyone, including Marco, and there's some new electronics engineers as well that I haven't worked with before. Like I said, there's a very, very high level of professionalism. Everybody seems to know their place, their job. Everybody works very, very well together. So yeah, so far I've been very, very impressed, and Gigi is straight down the line. As a lot of people know, that's me, straight down the line. Some people don't like it, but that's me. So it's been fantastic so far, but I can't see another way.
Obviously, all the Ducatisti and your fan would like to know when and where you would like to race again. Not only the season, but maybe one race. Which one? Mugello, Phillip Island?
Laguna Seca. Sorry. It's a good one.
Superbike race. There is also the
It's true, I maybe made a problem for myself there. China. Especially now with the engine, huh?
Have you any intention to test also the Superbike?
I would like to in the future, but this isn't the priority right now. Priority is the MotoGP project, but it's something I would like to do. If I can give any input that can help in this way as well, I would like to try and help in that area.
Are you going to ride at next week's test, Casey?
Where's next week? Probably not, by the sound of it.
Monday.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The test that's here. Is there a chance that you
I
ride?
don't believe so. We've pretty much got, I think, tomorrow on. We've got to talk tonight and see what goes on, but it'd be nice to give my body a rest. It's hurting. It's really badly hurting. And also it'd be good to get some time, with a more grip on the track. It's something I struggled with last year testing with Honda. It was just, a few days of, very average conditions with no tyre on it. We've got all kinds of car tyres from the last 4 or 5 days have been running around, and the grip level's not there, so it'd be nice to try and see how a bike feels with a bit more grip as well.
Just in general, Casey, about this year on Ducati, we saw them come back strongly last year. Both Finale and Dovizioso had good results. You've not ridden the new bike yet, but they hope it will be an improvement. I mean, what do you expect, just in general, from Ducati this year with the riders, with the bikes? I mean, do you think that they can? Because at the end of the day, nobody's won a race with Ducati since you did in Phillip Island 6 years ago. I mean, do you think that they can get back to winning ways this year?
I would like to try and change that stat. You know, this is something I've always felt very, very sorry for Ducati in that way, because all of a sudden the mentality changed from Ducati being extremely, you know, competitive, and then all of a sudden people think it's, you know, it's not quite on that edge. And for me, that's you know, again, it's a mental thing. That's what people are maybe thinking, but it's not what it is. So, you know, Gigi's been putting the work in. Everybody's been doing their job. Last year they started really, really strong. But we also know that track can be quite good for, well, the Ducati of the past anyway with me. So we will see how things go. But I think it's a lot, you know, until we try the new bike and see where it is at the start of the season, we don't know what to expect yet. But after the results that they had, some of the places last year, you know, it was very impressive. So with Andrea Iannone getting some more experience, I think Dovi could have had some better results last year. He got a little unlucky, you know, crashing with the front a few times. So if he starts off strong, gets confident, then there's every chance they can, you know, be pushing very good with the bike they have now. So we don't know where we can achieve and what we can arrive to, you know, in these next few tests before the first race.
Okay, guys. Nice.
Thanks.
Comprehensive debrief from Casey for you.